Welcome back to the Tombs of Terror. It's time to take on the final wing, the Halls of Origination, and then enter the Inner Sanctum. That sounds awfully spooky, but don't worry, I'm here to help you. My name is Regis Bronzebeard. Yeah, it's a good fit. I look a lot like Bran, and I got some tips and tricks that'll help you get through this journey safely. But as always, be warned, there's gonna be a twist. The twist this time around is Plague of Wrath, which means after a minion takes damage, it gains +1 attack. This can be particularly beneficial to high health minions, which you should look to add to your deck because they'll have more opportunities to gain that bonus attack. It also means you should be very careful when taking trades with multiple minions, ensuring that you don't accidentally buff something into too high of an attack, thereby denying you the opportunity to take a value trade. Well, that actually doesn't sound too bad, and I can tell you right now, our good friend Bran Bronzebeard is gonna have some tools up his beard to take advantage of that twist. When it comes to signature treasures, you'll start with Old Faithful, a powerful early game weapon that can clear a lot of minions. But be careful, because of its whirlwind style effect, you can inadvertently buff your opponent's board if you're not killing them with its attack. And that's why I recommend switching over to Bran's Epic Egg as soon as you work to unlock it. This one has incredible synergies with both the Halls of Origination twist and many of Bran's cards that allow him to deal ping-style damage to his own minions. That means you can summon a King Crush quite consistently with this card and often summon 4 or 5 King Crushes, which, needless to say, is a pretty powerful play. Beyond that, because you're giving this attack every time you do, it makes it even easier to summon more King Crushes. And then when we look at hero powers, you'll see Spread Shot, which allows you to deal 1 damage to any target of your choosing, which is pretty clearly amazing with Bran's Epic Egg. And this time around, I'd also like to recommend a starting deck. Once you unlock it, Call for Help gives you a couple great tools to deal damage to your own minions, like Blood to Ichor or On the Hunt, and you can of course keep an eye out for more as you continue to assemble your deck. But if you get all of these cards together, you're going to have an incredibly synergistic deck that is going to prove very successful in the Halls of Origination. Yeah, Bran's gonna need everything he's got because there's some tough bosses along the way, including the Plague Lord of Wrath. The Plague Lord of Wrath has 3 terrifying hero powers. First up is Commanding Scream, which enables it to protect its minions on its turn so that they do not die when taking trades. This means you should proactively try to remove minions as much as possible so they can't take very clean return trades. Next up is Wrath Smash, which will destroy a damaged minion, but also costs 1 more for each damaged minion on the boards. There are a couple ways you can use this to your advantage. Number 1 is that if you have a very damaged minion, just trade it in to get some value out of it instead of trying to keep it alive. Alternatively, you can try to damage a lot of minions so that the boss just isn't able to cast Wrath Smash in the first place. Finally, there's Hand of Defiance, which will swap the attack and health of a minion, which can get out of hand when attacks are already being buffed throughout the course of the game. This means you should be careful leaving high health minions on the opponent's side of the board, and you have to be careful how you treat your own minions lest the boss negate something you've tried to accomplish by swapping those values. Alright, that's going to help you with the Plague Lord of Wrath, but you may have noticed there's one final task ahead. It's the Inner Sanctum. We're not done just yet. Rafaam's evil plans haven't quite been defeated. That means you've got one big bad final boss to go. It's Takan, the Plague Lord of Flame. You'll start the fight by choosing an explorer, perhaps Bran Bronzebeard. At that point, you'll be offered one of the hero powers you've unlocked for Bran, and then your deck will have all of the signature treasures Bran has unlocked added to it as well. Of course, it's fun to pick your favorite, but keep in mind the old adage about saving the best for last. Takan's first hero power will create some particularly problematic golems if you don't keep the board clear, so be sure to manage those. And if things do get too out of hand, don't hit that concede button just yet. This is not a fight you want to give up too early. There might be some help on the way. Yeah, that's a pretty crazy fight, as you can see, and that's really just the beginning. There are some more surprises in store that I'll let you discover. I don't want to spoil everything for you right off the bat. That said, I think you've learned enough over the last few weeks, and you've certainly earned enough treasures that you've got everything you need to defeat Takan and Rafaam and their evil plans, and maybe you'll even get a hint at what their evil plan is all about. I'm certainly still very curious myself. That said, I want to thank you for spending all this time with me. It's been a great journey, a great adventure. I hope you've had fun. I know I certainly have. And that said, there's only one thing left to say: to adventure.